Hey, you beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Kira the Doll. And today's video is going to be on basically a wig transformation. So we're going to go from this, I don't even know what color to call this like high pitched, the blondest of blondes, pale as I don't know what color, yellow, blonde, whatever. We're going to go from that to a beautiful purple, as should be in the thumbnail. If you want to see how I got it, just stick around. Also, in this video, I'm going to be talking about, basically, I'm going to break it down into two talking points. The first talking point is going to be about people pleasing. And then the second talking point is going to be about basically my Forex journey. So I thought they were two good topics to talk about just because I feel like a lot of people misunderstand Forex. And then as far as people pleasing, I just feel like that's a really good topic to talk about because I struggle with it and I just want to help anybody else who struggle with it because that ain't the way to go. So back to the hair aspect. I started off by shampooing the hair so that the color could deposit a little better. I basically started off sectioning the hair out, and then I got my color bowl, put the color in it, got my brush. A lot of people nowadays are doing the water method. I don't have time. Well, this is really time consuming versus the water method, but I don't have resources and all that. Like, I feel like this is just simpler than getting a tub, all of that mess, and then you got to dispose of all of that. Like, that's just a lot to me. I would rather just paint the hair. So that's what I did. Started off shampooing, like I said, and got my colors in a bowl and started to paint on the hair. And as I'm painting on the hair, I'm going to start talking about my first talking point. No, as a matter of fact, let me explain my technique really quick. So first, I did just like a kind of like a rough draft, like just a quick deposit of the color, just to get it on the majority of the hair. I didn't really focus on the roots this time. I just kind of put it on there because I wanted to stretch the color as much as possible. I didn't want to run out of the color. So I kind of just did a different little technique of doing it. So I put as much color as I could so that I knew that it would get on the majority of the hair, if you feel what I'm saying. And then went back after I put it on to get any spaces that I missed so that I could stretch out the color and get it on everywhere. I just thought that was a smarter way to do it. But so I wouldn't run out of the color. Because when you're doing it this way, you're using a lot more color versus the water method. You just putting in the water and that's kind of expanding the amount of color you have to use versus this way, it's like having paint. So you're going to run out of paint real quick. So yeah, just wanted to say that. But let's get into the first talking point. All of my empaths, all of my people pleasers of the world, we stand by to have a meeting. We need to have a meeting. I need to explain a lot of things to you guys to just make it click as to why the only person you need to be pleasing is yourself. So this topic initially came up when I was in a group that I'm in for my sign, which is a Taurus. Taurus sign is one that I feel like is a little misunderstood. Like, we are sweet and kind people. We either are hot or cold. We're either known as a sweet person or just like an asshole or like somebody that is just not really in the in crowd, on the outskirts, just like either or, hot or cold. So somebody posted in there about people pleasing, and it's something that a lot of people was agreeing on. myself included. Like, I am growing out of being this person, and I just want to help you guys understand how I grew out of being that person, you know? So, for one, the post said, being a Taurus means I can be a people pleaser. I want everyone to feel love, happiness, and peace. I didn't want them feeling an ounce of loneliness. I wanted them to know they were special and didn't deserve and deserve everything they desire. I didn't know it would cost me my biggest investment, myself. And as a Taurus, that is so true. Like, we get so caught up in being loyal and showing people how loyal we are, and how down we are for you, that we'll do that any extent with and forgetting about ourselves in the process. So, like, by the time we realize and catch up to what's going on, we realize we ain't even happy no more. Like, we done been sucked dry and didn't even realize it. That's the life of a Taurus. Like, you just living and pleasing everybody else except for yourself. But people who do this have to realize that all of this that you're doing to make people happy, and all of this overextending that you're doing for the hope, this is not even a definite, if I do this, they're going to be happy. This is a hope. I hope if I do this is going to result in them being happy. For one, you need to do things out of the kindness of your heart, not for a reaction, not for an applause, not for anything other than you choosing to be kind to this person, because you can't expect anything in the world. You can't expect anything. And you damn sure can't expect anything from nobody else. So, that's number one. But another thing is just the simple fact that I'm the type of person that I don't just get to the point sometimes. I gotta explain the story. So, I found myself trying to make people happy, but what I learned is, in trying to make people happy over and over, I'm trying. But everything I try, you got those people who you give them a solution and they find another problem. Then you solve that problem, they got another problem for you. And then you solve that problem, you got those people who want to complain, So no matter what I do, no matter what way I help you, no matter what I do to be kind to you, you're still going to be unhappy. Why? Because some people are just miserable. You got to know a miserable person and just let them be miserable. Some people you can cheer up sometimes, but some people, it's on that person to be happy. You can't make nobody happy. They got to choose to be happy. So you got to lead them where they're at. Same with, I'm saying this about miserable people, but same with every single person on this earth. You can't look for nobody else to make you happy. Happiness starts within. So once you're happy within, then your experiences around you are going to start to be happy as well, because you're already happy. But when you walk around upset, everything around you is going to be miserable, and the sky going to be falling, everything going to be going wrong. So what I've learned for people pleasing is the word no. So back to the post about being a people pleaser. I replied, don't you know that meme of Bugs Bunny? And the meme, and he like his lips were so fixated, and he was like, no. So I put that meme, and then I commented. I said, I realized this same thing about myself, which helped me recognize my power in this world. Because my power, as in meaning, I'm gonna bring you guys back to the original post. If you guys forgot what the original post was, it was, I can be a people pleaser. I want everyone to feel love, happiness, and peace. I don't want them to feel an ounce of loneliness. I wanted them to know they were special and deserve everything they desire. So this is just basically saying how kind we are, how sweet we are, how big-hearted we are, how much of good people we are. So I said this helped me recognize my power in this world. My power in this world is that I am a light in the world. Like, I am a kind person. I have love to give to people. You know, I recognize my purpose in the world. You know? So, back to what I said. I recognize my power in this world. I've been basking in the word no lately. Whenever I second guess myself or feel guilty, I come back to this realization of how giving, caring, and big-hearted I am, which people will take advantage of. So I remember to protect that big heart of mine by saying no. People will, if you don't say no, people gonna say yes for you, and you gonna be finding yourself doing stuff that you would never see yourself doing just because you're around people who want you to be doing this for them, or it benefits them, or whatever the case is. You will be a show monkey if you don't say no. You know, you gotta have your backbone, and honestly, that's how you earn your respect, to be completely honest. Because if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Also, what I'll say about the word no and, not people pleasing, just saying no and not always agreeing to everything with people. Once you say no, y'all, once you say no, you might not never say yes again. Once you start saying no, like the first time, you might feel a little bad. You might be like, oh, this person about to be mad at me. Like, oh, like, y'all. But, like, one of my first times since, like, realizing that I'm always saying yes to people, one of my first times saying no to somebody really close to me, I was sitting there like, I felt so powerful, yo. Like, I did, because, like, this person just expected me to say yes to something, and I'm just like, why would I overextend myself, do X, Y, Z? Like, what are you even talking about? Like, I said, and it was like almost like an automatic no. Like, it was just like, I felt so good. It felt so good, because just like people be trying to play you for real. And then when you say no, then you start to see people's true colors. Once you say no, you start to see if somebody's truly around you because they're your friend, or because of which they're trying to get you to say yes to. That's how you really see people's true intentions. Once you start saying no, people show you who they really is, y'all. Like, if you say no to somebody, they should be understanding. They should respect you for being your own person, your own individual. If that person get mad, that just shows they think that they can control people around them. They can control, they think that they manipulating their way through life. They think that y'all is they puppets. So it's just like, if a person really respects you and you're really your friend, they might even be a little sadder, but they not going to be mad. They not going to hold resentment to you. They not going to have secret animosity because you said no. If a person does any one of those things, you know that they ain't really down for you. So it's just like, all right, it's your turn to start acting up. Start saying how you feel. Start making people look at themselves in the mirror, because they'll keep pointing a finger until you put your foot down. Y'all, the older and older I get, I just realize how, no, why certain family members were just like seen as the weird ones who never came around, but they just wanted their peace, y'all. That's becoming me. But that's all I really have to say on people pleasing for today. Now I'm going to start getting into the second talking point, which is my Forex journey. So initially how I got into it, I remember I was on Instagram and I kept seeing this girl posting about it, like posting profits and stuff, like money that she was making. So I ended up one day letting my curiosity get the best of me, because if you know me, you know I'm a curious ass person. I'm curious as hell. Like, I will ask you 1,000,001 questions. Like, I'll be wanting to know stuff. Like, I'll be having to break stuff down. Like, what is that? So I asked her, I said, what is that? Like, and she was explaining to me. Well, no. She explained a little bit to me, but she was like, can you get me on the phone? Can you get me on the phone so that we could talk about it? I'm like, not right now, kitty cats. Okay. But, yeah, so can we get on the phone about it or whatever? But, like, I honestly wasn't too weary about it, because, like, the real first time I heard about Forex, I was actually talking to this guy. And that's another story for another day. Like, I'm not gonna get into talking to him, but like, I remember seeing him trading. Like, he didn't tell me about it or nothing, but like, I remember seeing him trading on his phone. And like, I was curious about it then too, because like, he wasn't really making a big deal out of it. It was just some shit he was doing, and like, he wasn't really explaining like, you know how people be on their phone and shit. Like, he was just on his phone doing his little shit. And like, I would peep sometimes, and then I was just like, one day, like, oh, what is that? Like, what are you doing? And then he explained to me a little bit. He ain't say much. He just like, just trading or something. I can't fully remember. Like, he didn't explain too much to me about it for real. Like, he just was making it seem like it wasn't a big deal. But to be honest, like, now he been like doing hella good trading. Like, he been making bank in the market. So like, all of that he was doing back then, like, that was like probably like 2019, 2019, around then, when he was like, doing it and not really making a big deal out of it. This time now, like, it done paid off. I basically say all of this to say that, it's not necessarily Forex that is the scam. The scam that people speak of is more so the educational platforms that you join that is the scam, which is what I'm about to get into explaining. But I just wanted to explain how I definitely know people and have been around people firsthand who just had some good trades and made good money. Like, I have a friend, like, I don't, let me get into the story. So, yeah, so she was explaining to me, back to the story, how I initially, started to get into it. So after I knew that guy, I didn't talk to him anymore or whatever. So I just was going on my life or whatever. And this girl pops up on Instagram or whatever. And so, yeah, she asked to get me on the phone when I asked her what she was doing when she was posting her profits. So we got on the phone, and she was so damn persuasive. Like, she was like, don't you hate working for these people? Like, ain't you getting tired of this? Working for these people, like, this is like a dead end. Like, we just keep working and working. We're not getting anywhere. Like, you got to find ways to invest. Like, you got to invest your money. You got to find ways to get ahead, because we just in the rat race, That's what people referring to when they talk about the rat race. Like, your 40-hour work weeks and the cycle of going to work, getting a paycheck, and repeat. So that's not the life that you want to live. Like, that's the type of shit she was saying. I'm like, you right. Like, And so she was explaining the platform to me or whatever. She was saying, basically, I'm gonna get you on another call. You're gonna see my program I'm in. I don't even know what to call it, like my group I'm in or whatever. And yeah, like we having events, like, it's lit. Like, I'm gonna get you on another call, have somebody else talk to you about it, like somebody above me who really done been flipping shit in the market. So then I got on the other call. It was this other girl, and she was doing really good in the markets. Like, she's in real estate now. Like, basically, what I liked about it in these beginning stages was just being around people and being able to see people who are actually making a change in their lives. So it was just like something I never seen before. I'm just used to being around people in the hood, y'all. So I'm like, oh, I'm being around people, networking, being around people who are actually making money, being around people who can teach me stuff, can teach me how to just self-develop. That was one huge thing I liked about the program. But anyways, so the girl who was really successful, she was just selling us this dream of copy and paste trades. She was like, our program, you need to join. It's this much money, you need to join. They give you copy and paste trades. You don't even need to know how to trade. They just give you trades, and you just put them in and you make your money. Like, y'all need to join. So it sound all fine and dandy, but once I joined, well, no. Yeah, once I joined, it was just like we would meet up. All of these people, I got to start meeting people, and it was just like, how stuff goes. Like, you meeting people, sometimes y'all is actually gonna be productive, sometimes y'all not. So a lot of the times we were not really productive, and it just started to make me mad because, well, I learned a lot. I can't lie. I learned a lot. So it's like, I can't really say it made me mad because, like, when you learn to trade, there's a lot to learn. So it's not like you could just hop into it. It took me a long time to really dissect everything, just because of the type of learner I am. Like, some people can grasp something and learn it within a short amount of time or whatever, but like, I'm somebody slow and steady. Like, I'm going to get to the point, but it's going to take time. I got to be patient to just understand it and catch it, because I got to get it on my own rhythm, my own rhythm of what I'm already used to. So once I got in the group or whatever, they had an event. They eventually had an event in our city. So I had to invite people or whatever. This was a great experience, just like getting people in different rooms, getting people in more productive environments. So I invited a few friends or whatever. It was lit. Like, this was really a movement we had going on. Like, we were spreading the information, spreading the word, getting a lot of people to join. This program, if it didn't help with anything else, I can say it definitely helped with the mental aspect and the self-development aspect, because this program, like, it was like they kept telling us, though, that's all they told us, it's more about your mental than the actual skill. They just was like, the skill ain't hard, it's your mental, because a lot of people is going to get in this with the wrong mental. So you got to have the right mental before you even try to get on the charts. Like, yeah, sometimes you can get on the charts and just be one of them people that just do good. But if you're not, and you're like, everybody learns different. If you're not, and you like how the most of us is, and this shit just look crazy to you, and you just like, what? This is a new way of thinking. So you got to change the way that you think. You got to change the way that you move. You got to change everything, You can't just be the same person that you were. You got to be positive, You got to think differently. Like, this is a whole new way of thinking, which is so true. It's a lot to grow. That's why I said the self-development was there. They taught us about basically what I touched on earlier in the video when I was talking about people pleasing. they touched on just how it's more about the feeling. It's more about how you feel now that attracts the experience to you. So you have to be happy now. You have to feel your habits have to align with the lifestyle before the lifestyle becomes reality. So you already have to be moving like you're rich, moving like you are already ahead before you get ahead. So, you have to feel that you're there before you get there. So, it's deep. It's deep. So, the mental aspect, I loved it. Another thing I loved was the trips that we want to, like the conventions. So the kicker to it was that we paid for everything out of pocket. So this would be like expensive trips that we was going on, out of our own pockets. But it was an amazing experience. Like I wouldn't trade it in because like I didn't have no other reason to travel. I didn't have no other reason to go to different states and stuff. So it was giving me a reason to go see different places like that you wouldn't see on a day-to-day basis. And it started to make me love to travel. It grew my love for traveling, and it grew my love for seeing different places in the world, which I feel like a lot of people are just stuck in their hometowns and stuck where they're from and don't never really want to experience anywhere else and go see anywhere else. But ever since then, I grew a love for it. Like, I want to be everywhere else but where I'm from, because where I'm from is so small. It's like one of the tiniest states. And then the city that I'm from is tiny as hell too. But guess what? The crime rate ain't tiny. And it's just mainly black people. It's bad. So it's just like, I wanted to be able to see other things and have other experiences versus just this same regular degular schmuggler life, So it grew my love for travel, and now I don't see myself living where I'm from no more. Like, it's so much more in the world than just that. I guess what I can say is that original company that I was in, they opened my mind. They opened my mind up. I stopped looking at stuff from in a box. I took myself out of the box. So I encourage a lot of you guys to do that as well. Like, get out of the box. Stop being in the box. Stop letting these people box you in. Get out the box. Like, there's enough room for everybody. You just gotta want it, You can't let nobody tell you no. And the only way that you lose is to give up. So, another thing about this company that made me eventually stop being in it was the fact that even though I was getting all this self-development, even though I was getting all this mental aspect, I never learned how to trade. I never learned how to trade, y'all. But me, the type of person I am, it's different types of girls in the world. My name means intelligent. So I always have a love for learning. Like, I guess, like, I be having so much stress, like, I can just solve problems, like, especially, like, that real technical shit. Like, I could just solve shit. Like, I always been good with that. Like, I got good grades, almost damn near perfect. I was always in, like, high-ass classes, like, the most, it's like, they always used to do the most for me. Put me in, the advanced shit. So I always just been a quick learner. So, yeah, I wanted to know how to trade. That was my whole purpose. Like, yeah, I appreciated the development, but eventually I started to feel like I want to know how to trade. Like, this starting to make me mad. Like, I want to know how to trade, and a lot of y'all can't help me. So it's just like I dipped. So then after I dipped from that initial program, it was like that one was huge. It was like a really big company. It was like people from all over the world. So after I quit that company, I still wanted to trade and stuff. So then this boy I know that was in that company with me, he had hit me up. He was in another company that was black owned, which I love. I still got love for that company. I'm not even gonna lie. Because once I joined that company, I actually learned how to trade. It all started to finally click for me. They broke it down for us. Like, it was mainly black people. So, like, they broke it down, y'all. Like, broke it down. Like, you need second grade, kindergarten, what you need? Like, 12th grade, what you need? I should, yeah, like, I love that program. But, yeah, I learned how to trade from them, and their self-development was there, too. I loved the energy and the person who signed me up initially, he was a great help. Like, I really loved being in that program. Like, it was just like I was being set up for success finally. You know, they taught me. Now I don't need no help to well, like, it would be good. It's always good to have help. It's always good to have help. But I don't need the help. But I will still take the help, you know? But now I know how to do it. So now if somebody's helping me, I can actually execute in a more efficient way because I know what's going on. Rather than somebody saying copy and paste. You know what I'm saying? Then that's setting you up for failure in the long run. That really is. And at the time, it sound appealing, but, you know, sometimes you have to live and you have to learn. But sometimes you need to take the red flags for what they are. Know what you're getting into, you know. Be smart, you know. Be able to see into the future for real. Like, because how somebody does, how you do something is how you do anything. So how you do one thing is how you do anything. So if you do your best at anything, you'll do your best at everything. So if you do a shitty job at something, you're going to do a shitty job at anything. So that's how you got to look at things. You can't just take things for face value. Take things for what they are. So as you can see, at this point, I'm blow drying the hair. And I'll just give you guys some insight on exactly what I'm doing. So for one, I try to have clean parts because when you're doing hair, I realized that, like, sometimes I had the habit of just, like, being messy and, like, doing like, you know, not even being consistent and then wondering why it don't look sleek and, you know. So if you stay organized and go section by section, like, keep some type of consistency to what you're doing, then it's all going to look consistent and conformed. You know, nothing's going to be sticking out. Like, it's going to be how you want it to be, flat. And that's the blow dry. This is the flat iron. So when you start off in your blow dry with that consistency and with that direction of where you want the hair to lay, then when you straighten it, it's going to make it even more flat because you're going to continue that same method of flattening the hair on a neat and consistent basis. Also, how I got the hair so flat was with this Chi Silk Infusion. I know I didn't really put it in the camera, but you can get it from a hair store. You can get it from Amazon, possibly even Walmart. Yeah, just keep an eye out. Chi is a really popular brand or whatever, and it helps with heat protectant, and it just makes the hair sleek, as you can see, when you're doing whatever style. And it helps to hold the style too. So like if you're doing curls, it'll help to hold the curls, etc. Then you also see me applying the wax stick. I believe this one is like called Palmer's or something like that. Like it's a really original one. Like it's not, I don't think it's really scented. It's just plain, but it get the job done, versus all of the other wax sticks. It's just like, it just felt like too many options. It be feeling like too many options. So I said, you know what? All the old people, well, I'm not going to say old, but like this is more older people will say they like this wax stick, and I trust older stylists. I trust older stylists over a lot of younger ones, because a lot of the stuff that we're doing, they was already doing. So they know the original, where it came from, And then also at this point, I was just cutting it. Like I wanted the front to be a little bit more layered in the face area, so that that side wouldn't be as long as the rest of the hair, so that it'll look more face framed, But like I cut a little bit out because this video is just getting mad long. Like I guess this process did take me a little while, but yeah. I don't know if it showed this part, but I went in with the hot comb. I got one of those plug-in ones, so that's does the job, and you'll see the finished look in a second. It's like on a wig, for it to look realistic, you need that hot comb, because if you don't have the hot comb, your hair is going to look like a helmet, and it's going to look like a wig. If you have that hot comb and you're able to press it the way you want to press it and make it have a natural hairline, then your hair is going to be more sleek and more consistent, especially at the roots. Like this hot comb is specifically for those roots. You wax them roots up and you mold it the way that you want them to lay, and it's going to hit every time. You need that hot comb for that sleek effect, because the flat iron just don't do it. How the hot comb just adds that extra touch to it. So if you one of them helmet girls, like this is what you have to do. You can even do this to synthetic wigs. Like there's no excuse. Literally, like you see, I'm not playing with this hot comb. I'm still going back, still pressing it, because I want it to lay naturally. I don't want it to just come out like this is a wig. I want it to come out like this is somebody's hair. So I'm going to push it back and over. Our natural hairline does not go the way that them wigs be laying. So push it to be more realistic, how your hair goes back. And sometimes that's why your baby hairs go down, because your hair goes back. But this is the finishing looks. It turned out beautifully. I'm going to have some pictures of me in it as well. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know what else you would like to see. But see you guys next time. Bye.